We only know how to survive in circumstances that we have skills for. And if we grow up in circumstances where people treated us poorly, we think that's all that we will ever have. And so we are skilled to survive where people treat us poorly. If someone comes along and treats us well, our system is afraid because we don't know what to do with people who treat us well, and we're afraid we won't survive. We don't know how to survive when people treat us kindly. And even worse, we wonder what's hidden behind that kindness. Either they are doing something that's going to hurt us, they're going to betray us, and this is a mask, or they will realize we don't deserve that kindness and they'll abandon us and we'll get even more hurt. It's hopeless with kind people. At least with hurtful people, we can survive. And the brain doesn't care about you being happy. The brain cares about you surviving. Anxiously attached partners who don't believe they are worthy of love and who try to fawn and please other people to make them happy with no boundaries whatsoever, and they do 10 nice things for you hoping you'll do one nice thing for them, and they're terrified of abandonment or even the hint of abandonment. Connecting to people who are avoidantly attached, who don't believe anyone else will ever be honest or loyal to them ever, so they don't want any strings attached or expectations, and they want the free exchange of dopamine back and forth, and they need to be able to walk at a moment's notice, and they value space and independence. And these two people get together and it's incredible for the first 90 days. And then it begins to fall apart. The avoidant person starts to say, wow, I need a little space, but they don't say it because other people will turn on them if they say it. So they start withdrawing quietly. And the anxious person says, oh no, they're hypervigilant. You're withdrawing from me, and that means I did something wrong and you're abandoning me. I need to crank it up through the roof and cling to you as hard as possible. So it creates this horrible push-pull, run and chase dynamic for the next 4 months until you hit 7 months. Then the avoidant person, their novelty dopamine is gone at 7 months, gone. They have not bonded through oxytocin or vasopressin, the hormones we need, so they have no connection and no pleasure, right as the anxious person is starting to talk about marriage and kids and buying a house together, and it blows up in both of their faces again and again and again. Very common. It's not even arguing. It's not even passion or intensity. It's not even chaos necessarily. It's repair. Can they, after they have a disruption or a breach of any kind, can they come back, calm down their nervous systems, and come back and both of them say, I care about you way more than I care about whatever we just argued about. I'm going to manage myself differently and I'm going to change so I don't do that again. I don't want to spark at you that hard. Here's what I should have said. And by the way, now that that's resolved, are we okay? Do you need anything from me so that you feel whole again and you don't walk on eggshells? That's repair, and that's a skill that's been lost, unfortunately, for the last 100 years for most families here in the West. But if a couple can repair, they can trend in the right direction, even if they're a little chaotic at the start.
That's beautiful.
Jealousy in particular is a feeling that I'm not safe. I'm not safe. You're going to leave me, or I'm not going to get my needs met. Sibling rivalry in families where they're not connected fully and the parents don't have time and attention and resources for the kids, especially the emotional connection, emotional resources. Sibling rivalry gets worse because it's, I won't have enough, so you can't be my ally. You are my opponent. I have to make sure I get enough. Sibling rivalry gets worse in those disconnected families. The same thing happens when we're in a couple. I need attention. I need love. I need care. I need you to not walk away. And you're spending so much time on your best friend, not me. My needs aren't met, and you're spending it over there with them instead. What about me? My needs, my resources, and my safety. That's where jealousy comes from. If you can establish abundance instead of scarcity in the relationship, if you can establish real intimacy and real attachment and connection and safety, and if you can get needs open and explicit and on the table and negotiate them peacefully like a good relationship should, then jealousy disappears. There need be no cause for jealousy at that point. They think healthy love is supposed to be euphoria all the time, that it's supposed to be some magical drug that rivals heroin. They think that it's supposed to be the most incredible feeling forever, that it will never have disagreements or confusion or grumpiness or bad days. And they think that if they have even the smallest problem, that it must mean that they're not a good compatible match or that they're failing somehow. And I tell people, conflict is the only place you grow trust. So healthy, secure people have a lot of conflict. The difference is their conflict doesn't turn into combat. It turns into cooperation. Conflict is just two questions. Number one, do our goals align or are our goals a little bit off? And number two, if our goals are a little bit off, do we have to fight about it or can we work this out together peacefully? If you can actually do that at the beginning of a conversation with your partner or your friend or your mom or whoever, you can actually cooperate during that conflict. And then you build intimacy and trust and safety. You build all those bonding hormones we talked about. The problem that most people have is they don't talk about their goals or their desires or anything. They just start launching into combat, or they just assume combat's coming, so they just fall down to the ground and try to please the other person. If we can get some safety in our friend networks and our community first, we have to build that before we focus on a romantic partner, really. If you can get your community, friends, people that love you, that care about you, that you can be honest with, the stakes are a lot lower there. It's not life and death, like I will be rejected by a partner. And then if you can go out in the world and go dating more appropriately, you can start talking about what you want long term. Instead of saying, okay, you want to just see where this goes for 8 years with no label? I guess I can do that. It's, no, you know what? I only want a committed relationship. We don't have to get married tomorrow, but that's all I want. Are you on that path too? Is it something you actually crave and you're excited about, a committed relationship? Can we build toward that over the next couple of weeks and months as we learn about each other, and then have explicit conversations about a label, and then moving in, getting engaged or married or having kids if that's what we want to do? Are we aligned on what we want? Because I'm excited about it. Are you excited too? If you can have that excitement and that clarity and that explicitness, that's how you date properly. That's how you find someone that actually is going to like you, not somebody that's just there for the feelings. But people don't have goals anymore. People are just surviving, so the feelings help them cope with daily survival. People don't look at legacy. Legacy is a forgotten word. People scoff at it. They say, oh, isn't that like what old kings used to talk about? People don't have legacy focus. They don't even have lifelong goals. If you ask someone what their goal is, it's to save $5,000 in their bank account for an emergency. That's their big goal. It's to get my kids to 18 and maybe someday they'll be happy. Their goals are so short-sighted. It is survival. When we remove just survival and we get someone to stability and sustainability, they start to dream big, and that's where the goals come back. Marriage is designed for long-term legacy focus. It's not the feelings of just raw survival getting through day to day.